All right, so this is kind of like the first couple of problems, except for the things we're drawing for you. Now, we got to actually look at this, and the picture's kind of irrelevant if you actually know what you're doing from up here. So let's first look at first one. Saying side ED. What is congruent to side ED? Well, if we look up here, we see that ED is right here, so ED is right here. So we have to figure out what part of this triangle right here is congruent to this part right here. Well, since it's last to second, we can see here the last to second one would be EC. So the answer here should be EC. So line EC. Next one is BE, first, last. So we look at the other one, first, last. So BAE. Next one, BC, the first and the second. So we use the first and the second, which would be AD. Alright, so that's how that works. Now let's do the angles. Angle A is in the first spot, so B would have to be its congruent counterpart, so angle B. Alright, the next one is angle C. Angle C is the second one, so the second one would be angle D. The last one are describing these two angles right here. Because they both contain E, we can't just say angle E. So we actually have to use our little side letters here. So if you notice, all right, they say AED, so first, third, second. The first spot, third spot, then the second. So we're going to do the same exact thing here. We're going to take the first spot, which is B, so angle B, the last spot, which is E, and the second spot, which is C. Or if you looked over here, you would see that AED, and then you'd say BEC, or yeah, BEC. And that's how that would work out for you. Now this bottom part, they're trying to ask what postulate makes these two triangles congruent if there's enough information to even show that they're congruent. So remember, our four postulates are side, 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 angle, angle, and angle, angle, side, right? So because we have those, what we can do is we can use them to tell us whether or not two triangles are congruent. Now you're going to have two types of triangles. You're either going to have triangles like these two where the vertical angles are not marked, and remember vertical angles means they're congruent. Or you're going to have something where both triangles share a common side, which since they share that common side, we know that third side is congruent for both the triangles because it's the same exact side. So let me show you what I mean. On this first one, we know that these two angles are vertical angles, so we know they're congruent. So we can mark that they're congruent. Now given that, we can see that we have a side, an angle, and a side, and we have a side, angle, side over here. So we know that these two are congruent by side, angle, side. That's why these two are congruent. This middle one, once again, we have vertical angles that we need to mark. So these two are congruent to each other. In this case, we have angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. So we'd say this is congruent by angle, side, angle. This third one, they share a common side, so we know this side is congruent to itself. So we know they at least share one side that's congruent. Well, we can also see they share another side that's congruent and angles that are congruent. So we can say this is congruent by side, angle, side. So remember, the sides need to surround the angle. It needs to be two sides with an angle in between. Two sides and an angle in between for it to be side, angle, side. This one right here. Alright. Once again, we have vertical angles. Let's mark the vertical angles. Make sure you use two lines because we've already used up the one line ones. And this one shows us angle, angle, side. The reason why it's not angle, side, angle is because if it was angle, side, angle, the side would need to be between the two angles. In this case, the side is not in between this angle and this angle. So we know that it has to be angle, angle, side. So angle, angle, side. This next one. Alright, so once again, vertical angles. We've already got 1, we've already got 2, so we have to use the 3. 3 curves. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3 angles. AAA. Well, as I've told you guys, AAA is a company. It's not a postulate. So in this case, there's not enough information to tell anything. So we say not enough information. And that's how that would go. This last one. Alright, once again, we know the third side is congruent to itself. So we have 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets of congruent sides. So we say this is congruent by side, side, side. That's all for that. If you need help even further with this page, let me know, and I can help you out. Otherwise, move on to the third page if you need it. Thank you.